Hi, my name is Therez Fleetwood. I am a fashion designer, a product developer, and also an author. I remember as a preteen, my mother would shop for me all the time, and I would always, never like what she bought for me, but she would always have to return all the clothing that she bought for me. And she was like, "That's it. I'm sending you to sewing school. I'm not buying you another piece of clothing." And I went to sewing school at the age of 12. And I learned how to sew, and I would come home and I would make little clothes for my Barbie dolls, sitting in silence, cutting, pasting, sewing, all of this, not even thinking that I want to be a fashion designer when I grew up, just something that I like to do. I enrolled in the FIT, the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. I went to school one semester and I dropped out, and I was like, I already know how to design. I don't want to be in school for design. Let me go work in the industry. Let me just jump in and see. Now, the thing is, when I went to work in the industry, I did not work as a fashion designer. I worked as a production coordinator because I knew how to design, but I had to really get my skills together on construction and different things and how to really create a garment from the inside out. So it was that training where I started to really hone my skills in fashion. When it comes to fabrication, I only use natural fibers. 100% cotton, 100% wool, 100% silk. I like using natural fibers. Number one, they look better to me. They're breathable fabrics. They feel better on the skin. I mean, the linings are silk even. I enjoyed those type of fabrications. Now, also what I do with the fabrications is I do a lot of adornment. I do a lot of hand beading. I do a lot of applique and patchwork. And I think this is what gives a different dimension to the design and to the fabrication. Every stitch means something, like laying fabric on the table, laying out the design of what I'm going to do. It lights me up and gets me excited. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see it. I mean, I'll start on a project, right? I'll have it on my dress form and I'll sit there for an hour. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but it feels like an hour. And just look at it and be like, did I do that? This is so beautiful. And it's nice to have that type of appreciation for your work. What differentiates me as a designer is definitely my design aesthetic. My design aesthetic really caters to my culture, the African American market, my people. Everything that I do has to have some type of cultural or Afrocentric element to it, or I'm not going to do it. Like, as a designer, if somebody came to me and said, "Could you do this lace gown with all those beads?" I'm like, no, there's nothing cultural or ethnic about that. It wouldn't excite me to do it. And I don't want to be a designer who just sews just to sew, just to make a buck. If it's not resonating with my spirit, I'm not going to do it. When it comes to color palettes for me and my fashion, the brighter the better. Energetically, I like to be happy. I like looking at happy colors. Even if I start with a muted tone of a beige or a gray or something, I have to inject some type of color in it. I think that really plays on my personality and definitely to my design aesthetic. And, colors, when people wear certain colors, you feel differently. In my own life, I wear a lot of black. But when I design, I just like to create with colors because I see the difference that it gives people in terms of how they carry themselves or how they just move through life when you wear a sea of different colors. My mother was my biggest cheerleader, making sure that I was set up with things that I needed, always there to support me. She was my publicist when I first started. It's so funny because I had a group of friends that I ran with, and I was the only entrepreneur in that group of like 10 people. The only one, I didn't finish college. I just jumped in and this is what I'm gonna do. And they were like, these are all college degrees, people with college degrees. And they're like, you're the only one who's like has her own company. I was 25 years old. And my friends all loved it because I was dressing them for every event, okay? So they were like, wait a minute, hold on. What do you got? We got to go to this award show or do whatever they had going on. And I was like, here you go. But I think it was also, they saw my passion. They saw my drive. They saw my desire. And they're like, well, how can we support you in what you're doing? What do you need from us? So I'm very fortunate to have amazing people around me who not only saw my vision, but who wanted to see me succeed. It's important for me to tell our story, tell the story of the African-American culture. Here in America, there's so much creativity amongst our people. And for me to be able to leave a mark in not only my designs, but also different products, but the books that I write, it's important for me to have people see what I do and be able to resonate with it, number one, but also look at it and say, I could do that. That's different. I'm inspired by what she does. I want to always be inspired. I want to always be energized. I want to always create from a space of beauty and color and form and texture. I want to always have that resonate, because if I'm not resonating in that way with what I do, then I'm not happy. I just can't sit and create just to create. Oh, you need a jacket? All right, let me just, here you go. No, I have to really be touched, moved, and inspired by what I do as well. I want people just to feel good when they see my work. I want people to also say, wow, she thought outside the box. I can think outside the box and not judge myself and just trust who I am. So I want people really to walk away empowered that you could do this too. I'm not unique to this. Just find what works for you. The most challenging aspect to what I do, honestly, is believing in myself. I know this is what I do, and I know that I'm passionate about this, but there are times when I have those moments of, can you really do this? Do you really want to keep doing this? Okay, you've had success before, but it's a different time now. Are you really motivated? Is this something that you're still lit up and excited about? Just getting the noise out of my head is the most challenging part for me, because when I'm locked in, but I gotta, I'm human. There are moments that I'm even working on this collection, I'm like, okay, what are you doing? How are you gonna do this? Are they gonna receive this? Are people gonna, or do you just wanna go back and just stay in film and leave it there? And I'm like, no, this is in me, I gotta do it. So it's mostly internal where my challenges come from. Success for me when I'm working with clients is when those clients are totally happy with what I produce for them. It's when I can walk away feeling good that, you know what, I did the job that I was supposed to do. It's resonating with my client. They're happy, then that's great. Success also looks like for me when my work inspires other people, because as a creator, it's I create to inspire people, to move people, to motivate people. What I enjoy most about what I do is starting from a blank piece of paper and seeing it manifest itself into this beautiful creation. To be able to say, wow, I did that. Wait a minute. I enjoy the process for sure, because I am very comfortable being alone and just being in my own space and just stitching for hours, because a lot of this is labor intensive for sure. So I get a lot of joy doing that, because you don't really see how it's coming together until you get to a certain point. And then I sit back and I'm like, ooh, this was powerful. My name is Therez. I'm a fashion designer, product developer, and author. This is my voice, and this is my life.